Campbell County 911.
Oh, I killed my boyfriend in self-defense.
Okay, what's his name?
Ryan Carter posted. He's an attorney in Cincinnati. He's dead, man. He's completely dead.
This criminal is Shayna Hubers, convicted of murder for shooting her boyfriend 6 times. She sat in Campbell County Circuit Court, Newport, Kentucky, as the jury delivered the verdict. Shayna had been charged with 1 count of murder after her boyfriend Ryan Poston was gunned down because he was planning to leave her for a Miss USA contestant. Now, this is where it gets even more chilling, because a fellow inmate of Shayna's would go on to reveal something truly horrifying about her.
I grabbed the gun and I shot him.
We, the jury, fixed the defendant, Shayna Hubers' punishment for the offense of murder at life imprisonment.
In 2011, Ryan Poston, a 28-year-old lawyer, met Shayna, a psychology student, through his step-cousin on Facebook. The two hit it off, but their relationship was a roller coaster ride of passionate reunions and nasty breakups. By October 12, 2012, Ryan had made plans for a date with Miss Ohio USA 2012, Audrey Bolt, a date that would never happen. During the trial, Audrey testified about her interactions with Ryan. But when Shayna discovered his plans with Audrey through Facebook messages, jealousy overtook her. "I got up off the floor, grabbed the gun, and I shot him," Shayna claimed, maintaining it was self-defense. The prosecution, led by Mitchell Snodgrass, saw things differently. They painted Shayna as a woman obsessed, someone who couldn't let go. This wasn't self-defense, they argued. It was cold, calculated revenge. But the defense pushed back, asserting that Shayna was the real victim. They claimed she'd endured an abusive relationship and that this had driven her to defend herself. Shayna herself described Ryan's cruel words. "I can't love you. No one can love you. You can't orgasm because you were touched as a child. No one will ever love you." Despite the defense's efforts, the jury wasn't convinced. They handed Shayna a guilty verdict and recommended a 40-year sentence. Her legal team, however, fought for a new trial, arguing that key evidence had been unfairly excluded. They also sought to classify Shayna as a domestic violence victim, which could reduce her time before parole eligibility. But in the end, the verdict stood.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder.
As the sentence was read, Shayna broke down in tears. She was sentenced to 40 years, with the possibility of parole after 20. Ryan's family wasn't satisfied. "It's not justice," one family member said. "Justice can't be given in a courtroom, and I don't believe Shayna has learned her lesson. If she got out on parole, she'd find another victim."
Cutting the pregnant woman open and stealing her baby will not be charged with murdering the baby girl.
Could be one of the most horrifying acts imaginable. A disturbed attacker lures a young pregnant woman to her home, then commits the unthinkable by cutting her unborn child from her womb. Let me take you through the chilling story of Donnell Lane, a woman whose actions in 2015 would leave the world stunned. It all began with a dark obsession, an obsession that would push her to do the unthinkable. Donnell had been pretending to be pregnant for months. She had carefully crafted an elaborate lie, going as far as to wear a fake pregnancy belly, showing it off to friends, and even hosting a baby shower. Her boyfriend was stunned when she revealed that she was pregnant. But as the months wore on, the due date she had given people was fast approaching, and still there was no baby. Her desperation grew as her secret began to unravel. Her boyfriend had no idea that a sinister scheme was unfolding. She had devised an elaborate plan to deceive her boyfriend and everyone else into believing she was pregnant.
She cut me.
Who cut you?
Downstairs. I don't know.
Okay, hold on.
Responded to. She got me in my stomach.
Okay.
I'm afraid.
She cut you in your stomach?
Hold on, I'm pregnant.
This lie stretched on for over a year, with no detail overlooked. Here are photos of Lane carefully documenting her fake pregnancy, complete with a false baby bump, ultrasound images, and even a baby shower. There's Ridley and Lane opening presents, and let's not forget the jungle-themed cake in celebration of their non-existent baby boy. On March 18, 2015, Donnell took a disturbing step. She posted an ad on Craigslist offering free baby clothes to anyone who might need them. It seemed innocent enough, but it was all part of her sinister plan. Enter Michelle Wilkins, a 26-year-old woman who had been expecting her own baby and was looking for items to prepare for motherhood. She responded to the ad, unaware of the horror that awaited her. When Michelle arrived at Danelle's house, things took a horrifying turn. In what seemed like a random act of kindness, Michelle thought she was simply going to pick up some baby clothes. But as soon as she stepped inside, Danelle attacked. With chilling precision, she brutally cut Michelle's baby from her womb. The pain, the terror, Michelle's disbelief. It's impossible to imagine the horror she went through in those few moments. Miraculously, despite the unimaginable pain and trauma, Michelle was able to survive. Bleeding and severely injured, she somehow managed to call 911. Her voice, shaken and terrified, reached out to the dispatcher, giving them the urgent details of the attack. Her bravery in the face of such a horrific experience is nothing short of extraordinary. Meanwhile, Danelle, somehow composed after her brutal act, went to a nearby hospital, carrying the lifeless baby in her arms. She told doctors and nurses that she had suffered a miscarriage, trying to play the part of a grieving mother, but the truth would soon catch up with her. In court, the victim Michelle gave a powerful and emotional statement, recounting the trauma, the fear, and the hope she fought to hold on to. The woman who had tried to take her life and her baby's life would pay the price for her actions. The court didn't hold back. Danelle Lane was sentenced to 100 years in prison for her horrifying crime. And as of today, she remains behind bars, a reminder of just how far a person's desperation can take them when their dark secrets are exposed.
That is a charge called homicide felony murder. It is life without parole. It requires a DNA sample to be taken upon arrest.
A chilling 911 call, an unfathomable tragedy, and a mother's silence. This isn't just another case. It's a story that will haunt you. Two parents accused of felony murder in the death of their 10-month-old daughter are now facing the court. It's been over 2 months since the death of their child. The once hopeful messages on their fence, now painted over, reflect the tragedy that shattered their community. A 10-month-old girl whose life ended not by a tragic accident, but by sheer neglect. The cause? Malnutrition and dehydration. A death that didn't happen overnight, but over weeks. And yet, what's most disturbing is how the parents reacted. When Seth Welch made the 911 call, something about his demeanor raised suspicions. The baby, he claimed, had been dead for hours, but the chilling exchange is what followed. She was dead as a doornail, Welch said. A cold, callous response that shocked even the judge.
He said, when you found her, she was already believed to be deceased, right? Yes. And that's when you consulted with a lawyer? Yep. Do you believe she was beyond help already? Oh yeah, she was dead as a doornail.
The judge, visibly shaken, emphasized the horror of the situation. This isn't about one missed meal. This is about weeks of suffering. This is about death. The couple's indifference left the court stunned. A baby who had been neglected to the point of starvation. Was it a mistake or something far darker? Neighbors who barely knew the couple spoke of how private they were, keeping to themselves, hiding the horrors behind their closed doors. But as the case moves forward, more details are coming to light, and the truth is even more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. The trial is just beginning, but the questions linger. How could anyone let this happen? And will justice be served for a helpless child who never had a chance? In a shocking turn, the court delivered a life sentence without the possibility of parole, marking a severe punishment that resonates throughout the community. But even as the verdict is read, people are left wondering, can this truly bring justice to a life taken too soon? Love courtroom drama and real-life justice? Then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're always up to date with our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.